This is The Rumor Report with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
So listen up.
Well, Gillie the Kid was on It's Tricky with Raquel Harper, and one thing that he talked about is who is the next rap icon, mogul, business tycoon. Here's what he had to say.
What you mean? You know who the new Hove is?
No, okay.
I'm Durky over of Chicago. It's Jay-Z. Yeah, I mean, you know who the new Hove is.
You think so?
Yes. To the young street, yes. Mm-hmm. Because, see, Hove was about, being a hustler, getting some money, getting the, and that was the wave when we was young.
Yeah.
We didn't look up to the shooters. The shooters was crash dummies.
He's talking about Lil Durk. Mm-hmm. Salute to my good brother Gillie the King. One thing Gillie knows how to do is stir up waters to catch fish. He knows how to get the people talking. But I respectfully disagree with that opinion, okay? And I would like to know what makes one the new Jay-Z. Like, there is no new Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, Little Durk has said it himself. He calls himself the Chicago Jay-Z. And and he's saying for the young kids right now coming up, which means he's not where Jay-Z is now, but maybe back where Jay-Z was back then when he was younger.
Does it mean influence?
I mean, listen, Jay-Z set a bar, and everybody who comes after him is attempting to have the success, and now because of time, the longevity that he had. But you got to let Durk be the first Durk. Law 41 and the 48 Laws of Power, avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. That's all. Because if you succeed after you come after a great man, you'll have to accomplish double their achievements to outshine them. So you don't have to compare the two.
Well, he's compared himself, and he has proclaimed it himself. So I'm sure that's part of it too. But it's not a bad thing to aspire to.
Of course. Aspire towards. Absolutely. 100%.
All right. Now let's talk about Young
So
Thug.
you agree with that then? You think he's
No, I don't. I think Durk is the new Durk. I don't.
I can understand why, first of all, Durk has put it out there himself, and I can understand why Gillie would say to the young kids, coming.
But what about Little Baby?
I mean, he could.
What about Kodak Black?
It could be more than one person.
He said of Chicago, Lil Baby from Atlanta, Kodak from Florida. But I don't think they are. No, I think Durk is Durk. I think they have totally two different rap patterns, two different influences, two different everything.
I agree. I mean,
I thought they were talking about like business acumen and the influence that they have.
I don't see nobody.
How they rap.
I don't see nobody doing that yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's talk about Young Thug and YSL gang members. There's a lot going on with this. And since we're talking about $1 million worth of game and Gillie, let's talk about Wallo. A lot of people are pulling up this old clip where Wallo was talking to Young Thug in an interview on the show.
Like you rappers, like the artists, if you don't want to be an artist, take it to the streets. But don't bring the dump in the game trying to prove that you're real. And while you proving that you're real, you're going to finesse yourself out of position and out of opportunity that can change your family and generations in your family life. Y'all getting money that never got, Thug. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the legends. Shout out to all the legends that made it possible. They got burnt.
All right, so people pulled that old clip up, and now we're watching everything that's been happening in court. They had a press conference with the Fulton County DA, the sheriff, and the police chief addressing this whole case that we've been talking about. There were 27 associates of Young Thug who were named in this indictment, including Gunna. And when asked about Gunna being in custody, because he's not in custody yet, here's what they had to say.
Short answer, Michael. He's not in custody.
I mean, has there been arrangements for him to surrender, or is he considered a fugitive right now?
Well, we're making arrangements as much as he had representatives call me last night directly. So we'll muddle through that piece and let you know.
I will say the sad thing about it is I know a lot of artists that started off in the streets and they became successful and they just can't turn it off. It's not like it's something you just off and you have no more problems, no more beefs, no more situations. I mean, is they try to aspire to get out of the streets, but sometimes it's very difficult.
I don't even know what Gunna's charged with. Like, I saw conspiracy to violate Georgia's RICO Act and participation in a criminal street gang. What does that even mean?
I mean, listen, I have no idea. I guess we're going to find it all out soon.
And I thought the RICO was a federal charge. I didn't know that a state could bring RICO charges against you.
Yeah, state in Georgia. But I spoke to an attorney yesterday. He was saying that the Gunna charge doesn't seem right. It seems like it's BS. It seems like they're just charging to be charging.
Especially if YSL is a record label.
It's a record label.
So if I'm signed to a record label, that means that I'm a part of a street gang. Like, I don't get it.
Sometimes don't they charge people to get you to flip and talk, too, to try to get that to happen?
Oh, I have no idea.
All right, now here's the DA talking about using Young Thug's lyrics for this indictment.
I believe in the First Amendment. It's
one of our most precious rights. However, the First Amendment does not protect people from prosecutors using it as evidence if it is.
All right. In addition, YFN Lucci and Young Thug, they are in Fulton County jail, and so they have to keep them separate.
Well, I won't step outside of my lane. I am the district attorney of Fulton County. I am not the sheriff. I have great confidence in the sheriff. He knew that this was coming as a law enforcement partner, and I believe that he is well prepared, but you'd have to speak to him to make sure that everyone within his facility is safe.
All right. In addition, the DA speaks on seeking the maximum penalty.
Ask on the different charges for the maximum penalties, and there's obviously many people that are looking at life under this indictment. You're absolutely right. These are serious times.
Oh, man.
Listen, also, we didn't speak on what Wallow said. Drop on the clues bombs for Wallow, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call that podcast $1 Million Worth of Game. Wallow did 20 years in prison for being a dumb street nigga. Okay, so why wouldn't you listen to Wallow? He lived it. There's nothing y'all youngins are doing out here that's new. I know they say listen to the kids, but actually you should listen to the elders because they already lived the life that you are experiencing now, and they can help you avoid some of these, obstacles and pitfalls. And also, Barstool Sports. Boy, y'all better back the Brink Truck Cup for Wallow and Gillie. Basically, I'm saying y'all better pay Wallow and Gillie when Wallow and Gillie's contract is up.
There you go.
David Portnoy. Because, boy, drop on the clues bombs for $1 Million Worth of Game. They out here cooking.
All right. Well, Lil Wayne's 2015 bus shooting was also mentioned in Young Thug and Gunna's RICO indictment as well. So they talked about a disagreement or argument at Club Compound and how they were on their tour bus. They went on their way, but then several shots were fired at the bus. And later on, Jimmy Winfrey was the person who was arrested. He said
what that got to do with anything, though? Like, now they're just trying to paint a picture because
but that's what they're doing.
That dude already went to jail for that.
Yeah, for 20 years he was sentenced.
But I guess they were trying to say that was a Young Thug approved of that. But the problem is that happened, in 15?
The guy's home.
We're bringing it up now.
And I think he's out. The dude that did that.
They're painting, like you said, they're painting a picture.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's in that indictment. So it's unclear to what extent that's going to play a part in the overall case, but it is mentioned in the indictment. And
same thing with the 2014. They said he rented a Lexus and it was a drive-by. Like, that was 2014. I think those people have been charged already.
I don't know about the 2014 case. I know the Lil Wayne case, that dude who did that, if I'm not mistaken, he's already home. He did his time. So it's like, you putting that in there just to paint a picture. That's the sway to court of public opinion. So, when jurors or whoever come to be a part of this trial, they already have a picture in their head of Young Thug. The name doesn't help either, by the way.
And I
Thug.
want to also acknowledge and shout out Gia Casey. Tamron Hall has scored a season-high ratings, and that is for that telecast. It was the most watched telecast on any day this season.
Okay.
And that's when Gia Casey was on Tamron Hall.
Yeah, that's dope.
Oh, you were there too?
I was there too.
Okay.
But that's dope, man.
I mean, listen, Envy laid on that cross. Like, I ain't make my wife orgasm in 10 years. People got to see what the hell he talking about. Who is this guy?
Now, we didn't even talk about that on there.
Oh, really?
No, we didn't talk about that on there.
Oh. Mm-mm. That story was out already, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That story was out already.
Yeah, so they probably wanted to see. It's like, oh, that's the guy who didn't make his wife.
No, actually, the story
years.
wasn't out yet because we taped that beforehand. But now it was. We talked about a bunch of me being controlling and the beginning of the book. Tamron Hall really read the book and really went through it, so it was pretty dope. So shout out to Tamron Hall and the whole staff over there.
Yes, congratulations on bringing in those ratings.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that is your rumor reports.
All right, we got front page news next. What are we talking about?
Yes, we'll talk about Joe Biden. He is discussing inflation and gas prices as he's trying to shift the focus now to the Republicans.
My goodness. All right, we'll get into that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.